现在我们 BLG 的磨合还一般吧，因为有很多那种配合小失误特别多，就对自己表现也挺一般的嘛，就没有上个赛季这么有威胁力。WE 这个赛季输的比较多嘛，就最近的状态有高有低吧，就我们要保持好自己的节奏，不要很急躁的话，应该也可以战胜他们。
I mean, we're heading into game 3, so he's right on the edge of actually finding the win here today in Xi'an.
Yep, certainly is, and of course that's actually interesting to hear from Amazing J about like his thoughts on this set, and that they haven't been team fighting well recently because they won that second game by playing at their pace, but by team fighting well. So they've actually seemed to have either shored up the weaknesses that they had. Where for me, I actually thought that their team fighting was just
what I thought too.
But like. The context I'm going to add to this, right, is I thought that their team fighting was fine, but they always got there in a deficit because their early game was the problem. That's how I interpreted BLG, but it seems that they've gone towards the let's not have the early game approach and just fix the team fighting. And I mean, it works against WE 100% of the time, so just do it again, really.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's... I still want to know who that player is. I'm pretty sure it's Mystic.
It's got to be Mystic. He's around all the Mystic fan signs.
Yeah.
If you don't know, Mystic recently posted on social media, and all he said is, "I am Groot." And then he posted Groot emojis as a reply to himself, like 3 times. So all of the WE fans, all the Mystic fans have now just taken that, and they've run with that, "I am Groot." So all the Mystic signs you'll see usually have Groot drawn on it.
Oh, interesting. I mean, that was around the same time that we were comparing our caster team to the Guardians of the Galaxy. I believe our Groot.
Well, that's what stemmed the conversation, I believe, yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, Dom was Groot.
I am
Mystic is Groot.
I am Mystic. We are Mystic. Alright, WE, what have you got for us? If you were going to put one band-aid over this team, Rusty, what would that band-aid be?
I mean, I could probably just pick them a better team fighting late game composition against BLG if I was to come into this set and say, what could I fix immediately? Draft is the easiest thing to fix, right? WE are still a good team fighting team, so maybe even just commit yourself to that late game battle against BLG and say, let's dance.
Maybe that's a way for them to do it. I like it. WE, they'll ban away the Talia, the Camille, and the Swain. On the opposite side will be, of course, the Aatrox, followed by a Trundle and a Tam Kench from BLG. WE going to be on blue side in this one, and first pick the Rakan.
Yeah, really obsessed with the Tam Kench bans here between the both of them. And at the end of the day, Rakan on the blue side, regardless of the team that has been there, has been the first pick of choice. Now, the adaptations are very much evidenced from BLG on the flip side. It's a known factor here. Everyone knows that Rakan is going to get first picked. And so BLG have said, we are just going to immediately lock in the Alistar and take our own version of the Rakan, have the engage down there in the bottom lane.
Yeah, it is nice. You can also just Unbreakable Will out of CC and just pulverize them back. BLG looking towards a jungler. Now, in the second game, they found success when Chieftain went back to Comfort. In game 1, he went towards Nocturne. Kindred is still up, so if he goes towards Nocturne, there is potentially a counter on the horizon for WE.
I mean, Condi's Kindred was good. He got the early game ganks off, he got the scaling done. Kindred was picked into the Nocturne, one of the reasons that Kindred really cropped up. So BLG, they choose to go for the Nocturne. We'll have to see what they pick alongside that, because now they are against that Kindred and a Cho'Gath with it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be like an Orianna, because I feel like the combo's very difficult to execute, and if they're primarily looking at, like, you know, team fights and shoring them up, then why not go for something easy to execute? I felt like that composition in the second game just solved all the issues, because if they found an in, they just continue to win.
I mean, contrary to that, Orianna would be decent at team fighting against Kindred, when you think about it, you know? Like, depends on what the rest of the composition is. Alistar empowers the shockwaves. I would have perhaps preferred a Sejuani if they were going to do that, but Nocturne Orianna is also a combo. So this time around, they're not going to do the Orianna, though it has its place. I think Mole maybe just not feeling too confident on it after that Game 1 performance, and knowing full well that CA may just go for LeBlanc into it. You can see the immediate bans here from BLG.
Yeah. For sure. They pick up the Zoe in the end. It will also be a Cho'Gath on WE's side. And we don't see the Cho'Gath every day, but when we do, it is definitely a different build every time we see it.
We've been seeing Cho'Gaths and Nars a lot more lately in the top lane, and mainly I would say from the LCK more than the LPL.
Yeah, we probably had, I'd say, like 24 picks between the two in the LPL. Ryze will be banned out there against Xia. I mean, say what you will about the late game, but in the mid game, Xia was an absolute monster on Ryze. Same with LeBlanc. Darius and Gangplank going to be both banned out against AJ in the top lane. Now, He's the pain train conductor, and he will just bring the on train into the top lane.
Yeah, Amazing J going to sound the horn in this game. Mundo was an opportunity here to be picked. They choose not to. Of course, he knows his matchup. He knows that he's into the Cho'Gath. So it's interesting that he chooses the Ornn. I feel like it's more compositional than anything else. Provides a ranged source of engage that isn't just an Alistar. So you've got the Sleepy Trouble Bubble to poke people down, maybe threaten engages. You've got an Alistar, you're all in. You've got an Ornn that can do it all now. The modern day Kayle. Kayle can do it all.
I wonder when the last time we saw Kayle was. WE are going to pick up the Ezreal into the bottom lane. It's going to be a Kassadin, alright, Sheer. And this is definitely a throwback pick for him. This is going to be the third Kassadin of the split in the LPL.
Most of them being Doinby prior to this. Now, Rogue Warriors have been playing that Kassadin in the middle lane into certain matchups. Not often, however. Now, Sheer's going to try his hand into the Zoe. It's not the easiest of matchups. Zoe usually controls minion waves better than a Kassadin does, and you can see that Mole has committed himself to the Ignite into that matchup. At the end of the day, it's all about scaling, getting yourself into a side lane, and you'll be able to do what nobody else can if you're that Kassadin from level 16 and beyond. And Zoe will be very hard-pressed to find any opportunities to deal with you.
For sure. And I actually kind of like that WE have an ace in their back pocket. Because like Sheer and his Kassadin can always just pop off. You know what I mean? Like we usually, every time Sheer very rarely brings out the Kassadin, we're expecting like triples, quads, pentas, pretty much primarily off the back of this Kassadin. So they have something up their sleeve this time around, just feel good.
When you think back to the All-Star event, he was able to play that one. Presence of mind was nuts. This time around, it's not going to be the case. We'll see where he goes with itemization. I know that Doinby is a unique form of Kassadin player where he likes tanky items. We'll have to see where Sheer goes. Usually the AP route, the assassin route.
Yep.
And we get to see him try his hand once again. A very proficient assassin player gets an assassin. But it's not a strong early game one. And that's where BLG, they may be able to make this work. But remember, they have not been playing for early game whatsoever. So they may just be opening the door here for WE to scale on them.
Possibly. But every time we say that, and then we find BLG in a late game, it's like a 50-50 whether they're going to win or the enemy wins, regardless of compositional game state.
There are a lot more positives this time around, though, for WE, and they are also known as a late-game team-fighting team.
True.
When you've got the Ezreal, you've got the Kassadin, Cho'Gath also in the late game for that extra damage source from a tank, as well as the Rakan for engage. I think that there's a lot here on the side of WE in terms of strengths.
Definitely the case, but this definitely does feel like it could go either way right now. I mean, not too long ago, we were like, 100% it's going to be WE, clean sweep, let's go, ship it.
I 100% said 2-1 in this set.
For WE, right?
Yeah.
Is Rusty a prophet? Or will BLG channel the power of anime and defeat them here today?
They don't have the drums. WE has the drums.
That's
Surely
true.
they've got enough power here to push through.
I actually can't wait to see if BLG get their arena, what that would look like. For now, though, I'm going to give it over to Sheer.
I think they were competing for the cheers there accidentally. Yeah. W were meant to go first, but BLG a little bit too excited, it sounds like. Amazing J's just going to have a quick dance in the top lane.
Blue side goes first.
Blue side always goes first.
Then red side.
Of course, you even saw the penguin dab in there from Sheer. That's how you know he's playing on the Rift right now. He seems to have he's found his favorite. That's his favorite emote.
Feels like we've got a pretty good diversity right now in terms of what the players like to go towards.
iBoy, SMLZ, they are the white flag enthusiasts we have seen.
Yeah, SMLZ's brought the Tahm Kench emote out recently.
Yeah, he was into a Tahm Kench, so respect that.
Yeah, that's true.
PYL also. Loves him some Tahm Kench.
Alright. We good with the keystones? I think we are. It's going to be Klepto over to Mystic. Confirmed. Guardian for 694. 694. I need to just say that over and over again in my head.
That is it's not an Airy on this particular Rakan. Usually you will see the Spell Thief's Airy Rakan, but he's gone towards Coin and Guardian, so a very different style change here. When you're into an Alistar, you can be super aggressive at level 1. You know, you can play to earn a lot of gold then. And it feels like he's not building for that. In fact, he's gone for the opposite. Yet, Condi is here for a level 2
Yeah,
game.
they're still opening up. Road says, "Get off my son." He comes out with the headbutt, but now he's separated. So yeah, he's gonna see if he could just walk away. I respect it, but Rhodes will flash over the wall eventually. That being said, now Condi is in very deep, and Chieftain turns, well, hello Sunshine, how is it going? Gonna follow it with the E, the Dustbringer, and 694 is there to back him up, but that was a lot of damage. Condi still gets the last word in.
It is high damage, traded back and forth. Note that the mark for Kindred is on the top side scuttle, so Condi may actually just go from coast to coast here, head towards top lane immediately, and concede that the blue buff is not going to be there for him. We'll see where he goes. Naturally, the Nocturne will know the exact same amount of information.
Yeah, AJ getting the push off in the top side of the map, just shoving back 957. And we'll be able to push this one in once again. So, early game, just a bit of a back and forth here.
Now, the coin is usually better for Rakan if you're looking to earn money and get your Sightstone done faster. There's a chance that with the Infernal Drake on the map, that's what they could be considering, though I think that's a bit of a stretch, really. I just personally prefer Spell Thieves 99% of the time into a melee support opposing champion. If I was against a ranged champion, such as, let's just say, Zyra Varus, because Zyra is the first one that came to mind, of course, running Spell Thieves would be the worst experience of all time, because you'll just never stack it and they'll kill you if you try. And it might either be too much respect for the Varus, or not enough for himself. We need more self-confidence.
Either Mystic has just won at RNG, or he's hit like every Mystic shot ever. Meanwhile in the mid lane, it's going to be tapping Sheer with that Power Star in the bubble.
Chieftain just gives him a how you going.
Yeah. But look at Mystic right now. His inventory's full. He's full item build. It's 4 minutes.
He's having a good time. And again, you're against an Alistar, so there's a high chance you'll be hitting skill shots on him. If he ever wants to hit that Targon's proc on a cannon, he doesn't have minion dematerializer, so he's going to have to step up, and you can actually just use your W and auto-attack him anyway. So he'll constantly get the Klepto procs off, but you're right, he is well full build. He's got a mana potion he could probably pop right now.
Look at him. This guy's hacking the game. How do you even have that? You can't even buy it from the shop. I miss mana potion. It was a bit of a noob trap though, because people would just get like 3 health potions and like 2 mana potions and just walk into lane. No items. You're like, oh, okay, cool.
Actually, I think it really promoted an unhealthy trade pattern for a lot of champions. You know, I think there are champions that needed mana potions and stuff, but it just means that you can use spells to clear waves, and minions aren't exactly strong. So,
no, that's fair. Well, also the days of, what was it? There was the Garen build, where you went 13 potions.
That was Garen and Mordekaiser.
Yeah.
Mordekaiser mid lane was the one where you would start with only potions in your build.
Yep.
And they capped red pots at 5, because that was a bit much.
Yeah, but you could never push them out of lane, it was hilarious.
It's horrible. But there's 2 sides to that story, I guess.
The person who plays it, the person has to play against it.
No, I did play it actually.
Oh, really?
Back then,
And you still hated it?
Yeah.
Weird. What about Elixir of Fortitude? What about that meta?
Oh, the assassins in mid lane that would all start red elixir, and top lane is only starting red elixir.
Yeah.
I thought that one was funny. I actually thought that was a high skill meta, because you had to outplay your opponent and use it second.
Yeah, exactly. Game of chicken, but the chicken won. Condi just giving a love tap to Mole. Mole somehow wins that once again. Force Pulse comes out. He backs away to his tower.
Yeah, Mole's always going to have control in this lane. We mentioned it through the draft, but the Zoe should always have the push advantage into a cast, and that goes without saying. It's just about surviving through the lane. There is very
come on. Why did he pick up a Proto Belt? He's underneath the tower. He's super dead, but I respect it.
That's a big wave, actually, that crashes. So Mole, I actually think he plays the tactical game very well there. Think about the minions that could have been missed. Now the real winner is Condi. Condi's able to collect the kills. He's able to collect the wave under the turret. Gets the experience solo. He's also about to find himself a Nocturne.
Hello. Chieftain chasing him down. Fears him a little bit, but Condi's got the tower here, so now he's able to return fire. Look at him just stand his ground, look to return. Chieftain, may have to flash. No, he's good in the end, but he's definitely taking a trip back to base.
Oh, no, not bottom. Never mind, we're watching mid. Mole gets the kill. Let's see if we continue this on. Protobelt does drop, but he's just going to all in with Protobelt Ignite and then auto attack, and then flashes aggressively forwards. I think he even steals a flash and uses it on the spot there as well, so it might have just been a button mash affair in that middle lane after. Now, Condi was in the correct place. There was a big wave crashing. He acknowledged, or Xie acknowledged, that it's not a safe place for him to stand. So the assistance was always going to be nearby. That, to me, is the reason that WE come out well on top from that, even though Xie misses the farm.
For sure. Still technically counts as a solo kill, though, for the old Mole.
Just not a solo death for Xie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not that fun.
Jesus. Anyways, he's got that one kill, and in fact that kill for WE went to Condi, so Mole only just got further ahead in this lane, picks up his penetration boots. Condi, of course, is just hovering around the mid lane just in case. Why has he got another proto belt? Why?
Think of it this way, right? If that's not a proto belt, it could be a redemption. And no one wants a redemption.
Just because it could be worse, Rusty, doesn't mean it's okay.
I mean, I don't think there is a better version of things that you could get. Proto belt's super good for clearing waves and controlling waves, but he'll do it anyway against the Cassidy, right? So just accelerates it a bit.
With a proto belt, Rusty.
But if he has an ignite, then he'll ignite him, and if he has an exhaust, he'll probably exhaust him and do the same thing anyway. So the ones that like you just be happy for is that it's not a healer or a redemption right now.
Yeah. Always seems to be the perfect thing that he needs in the exact situation.
He's just that good at Zoe.
He's just the best Zoe player in the world, I reckon. The best Zoe players are the ones who can RNG the best items.
Yeah, the best AD carry plays crit more.
Exactly.
It is a known fact in the Bible of League of Legends. I have read the script.
Yep.
And on the 5th day, Rito said, the best AD carry is crit more.
Yep.
Direct quote.
People who can manipulate RNG. Look at him. Mole's got a heal now.
Yeah, because Chieftain needs one.
Exactly. Perfect.
Whoop-ah. They'll secure themselves a very free Infernal Dragon here, BLG. Just having control of the middle lane opens the floor to things like this happening for free.
Good lord, the amount of Infernal Dragons we've had today is too damn high. Well, starting up the quickness, I want Jin Jiao. We've got him too. Got the lockdown and the teleport coming out from WE. It looks good. It is followed up from 957 flashes into the rupture. There is no escape for Jin Jiao.
Not
two more kills.
Yeah, BLG, they press far too forwards into the bottom lane. They are preyed upon by their opponents. 957 getting the teleport off was super clutch. But at the same time, WE, they saw an opportunity. There's the redemption, by the way. The bubble actually just face plants. So they're not going to be able to defend too much here, BLG. At the end of the day, we'll get to see the fight again. Now, the charm connects even though the chains of corruption also do and prevent the W from happening. So Jin Jiao was secured from that point onwards. Could have thrown the chains earlier. There was actually just a 694 sprinting at him, but he chooses not to, and he's made to pay for it.
Yeah, problematic, and WE just seems to have an early game is the big difference, and it seems like a lot of this is off the back of Condi, where you look towards BLG, you're like, okay, well, Chieftain and Mole are essentially their early game for the most part, then unlocking roads if you can, but we haven't really seen that. I mean, we saw Mole just go and ham in the mid lane, which I respect, but outside of that, we haven't seen a whole lot, whereas Condi has been consistently aggressive in the jungle.
Chieftain and Mole have always been the early game for BLG for certain. You're seeing a lot of strengths come from them. It's the rest of the map where those translations aren't being effectively seen. You know, you mentioned WE having an early game. That's certainly correct, and a lot of that stems from Condi. But at the same time, the bottom lane 2v2 has been laning incredibly well. They have actually been playing super well, and Mystic is a big part of the success for Team WE so far in this split, the small amount of maps that they have won. So it's not a surprise to see them getting kills down there in that lane.
True. Meanwhile, in the top lane, nothing. AJ has actually just been farming this entire early game. His top laner left somewhere, he doesn't know where.
Ned Flanders on a snow trip in the top lane.
Yep. Wonderful.
Feels like they're doing nothing at all. Because they're not.
Exciting. We were talking about diversity in the top lane earlier as well, Rusty. This is one of the matchups which is just
not so diverse.
No. Two tanks against each other.
Cho'Gath does provide diversity into a composition though.
No, he does, yeah. I'm just saying, I miss the old days of tanks where Maokai could solo kill a Shen. Or vice versa. But not any longer.
I don't miss Maokai even a little bit. Maokai and Nautilus could stay in the bin.
Remember when Riptide was like 50 mana and like Maokai's Q for some reason was 40 mana flat no matter how many times you leveled it up, so he could 2-hit a wave and 2-hit you. It was a great time.
I remember messaging the designers of Nautilus being like, here's my balance change. Because let me tell you about how broken Nautilus is. And they're like, I know. Like, we get rid of the mana cost. And I was very surprised to note that that was the change they made. I was expecting something more drastic. But it's amazing how that small change does influence the game so
Oh yeah,
much.
gutted him. It was just like, oh, well, I get to Riptide maybe 3 times and I'm out of mana.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Where Cho'Gath has the, you know, mana catch-up mechanic where he could use 3 spells if he out of mana if he wasn't last-hitting minions. He gets mana and health back when a minion dies, so that's one of the things that keeps a Cho'Gath in the lane. So if that's what you would like to introduce for Nautilus, maybe that puts him back. We have seen Nautilus actually.
Give him more damage. Justice for tanks.
Do not do that at all.
Lower mana costs. When do we want it? Next patch. That'd be
So
great.
that's the last cast that Pulse ever had. Being pro tank is a sin.
No. I got my tanks. They'll back me. WE, they're going to step up. I'm not sure who that went over to, actually. I believe BLG smited it. AJ's going to flash away and charge.
Yeah, he smote it, but he flashed away, so they
Yeah.
haven't collected it. Let the games begin. We're going
Okay.
to play some soccer here on Summoner's Rift. Chieftain has got the ultimate to cover distance.
It's more like football, or what you call it
Road
in your
should
country.
actually put his face in it. This is the one
Yeah.
time you expect that.
Alton, go, Road. Get in there.
He's got boots and
Go!
mobility. He's got an ultimate.
Engage.
He's got a flash.
Go.
Nah, it's going to be gone.
Ah.
It's sacrificed. BLG back away.
The one time that Road isn't just like
Oh, man.
wantonly aggressive.
The area is safe now, Condi. You have permission to leave.
Road, like, so often just walks in for no reason, and that time there was a reason he didn't walk in.
Well, that's exactly the problem. There
I
was
know,
a reason.
Rusty.
Yeah, that sucks. That doesn't matter too
That's
much.
the worst.
If it was stolen by W, it would be super bad. Now we saw that in the last game, where BLG were able to steal away the Herald from their opponents in WE.
That's true, yeah.
This time around, at least everything is in order and balance has been secured.
I
here.
want balance. I want action. I want kills. Let's go back to the core point of this cast, which is tanks don't have any damage. They can't do anything in top lane. Equilibrium has been restored, but that sucks. Oh, mid lane. That's what, yeah. Let's do it, Chieftain. Gank the mid lane. Force out the perfect timing. Kill the shear.
Yeah, and the
Good
spear
stuff.
is still going to connect. Of course, the celebratory Zonia's to be taken from his opponent's dead body. Oh, hang on.
He pops the cleanse, and now he's got a flash as well. 694. He's under attack. And he's blast Chieftain where he stands. Mole flashes over the wall. That's a real flash.
So much damage out of Condi now, 2-0-1, and after his mid laner dies, he is once again there to reap the rewards by getting a trade kill on the back end. Still, however, Xie dies. Stopwatch has been removed, and whilst he's got the Rod of Ages and he's feeling okay, he's still not even got control in the 1v1 sense. Nocturne just comes in to really hit that one home and secure it. And remember the interactions between a Nocturne's tether on the fear and a Stopwatch is that you will still get feared afterwards, regardless of what happens. So he was locked down, he was feared, he could not escape, and just dies.
Yeah, it's actually a really annoying mechanic, but yeah, there you go. So he's just waiting.
It comes out
And
feared.
there you go.
It was a very spooky experience for him. He turned gold and he wasn't sure why.
I mean, he can't move and he can't take any actions, but he can still see. And he's got like a nightmare in front of him, embodied, you know, into Nocturne, so you can
That's
understand
actually
why.
a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
You're golden, but you're still there.
You can still hear and see.
Feel emotions.
Yeah. And Nocturne's like, you know, just standing in front of him and going, blah, 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 whatever he does.
That's Zoe.
scare him.
It does Raspberries.
Yeah, I don't know what Nocturne does really to activate his unspeakable
He,
horror.
he says darkness, I believe.
Nah, that's when that's his paranoia, not his unspeakable.
Oh, his fear. Yeah.
Unspeakable horror. Because it's unspeakable, right? So either he makes a noise or he makes a scary face. Right?
Sorry, I just have the mental imagery of Nocturne whispering something really bad into his opponent's ears. Just because you can't say it out loud, you know?
Yeah, because it's unspeakable.
He just says, like, Voldemort. Everyone's like,
It's
oh,
like,
God.
oh no! I think it's
He's
very
not
likely.
meant to be named.
Oh, come on, Nocturne, get it together. Yeah, W is successful defense on the mid lane there. And Dragon's about to spawn, if not has already spawned. You're the one with glasses. But you don't have the magnifying glasses, damn. It looks like it's up to me.
Yeah, Dragon's up.
Cool.
Ready to rock and roll on the bottom side of the map. BLG may actually be feeling pretty combat ready when you look down the list of their champions as well. They've got big item spikes, but that's not to say that WE do not. So we'll see how this one really does pan out. WE still have control of the river, control of the area, and it requires some brute force from BLG if they wanted to get in, but an Ornn ultimate would have been brute force.
Didn't look for it though.
No.
Mr. Amazing J I guess Amazing is his first name, so J would be Mr. J. Didn't do anything though, didn't pop his ultimate. So BLG are still pushing in the mid lane. They spot Cho'Gath, they put the Void Creature to sleep. He's woken up. And he clears out the minion wave. Again, BLG just poking away, sieging away.
The correct stuff from BLG, however, is focusing this middle lane. Ideally, without the use of a Rift Herald, they should still be able to break that mid lane out of turret. It requires a lot of attention from WE to defend. And a Cassidy doesn't have wave clear, so that's what you're looking at here from WE, is trying to defend. For BLG, it's hard force.
Oh, here comes the engage out from the Rakano. Knock up comes onto BLG, but they're still alive and they're still pushing them back. In comes the ultimate, tags 5 people, follows through, gets a double knockup. Oh, 957, oh, he didn't make it to the safe zone. He's dead. Mid tower's dead as well.
Miscommunications there from WE. Condi places down the Lamb's Respite. 957 spending more time running away towards his base than towards the Respite, and he's taken down pretty much immediately. Bubble just going a little bit wide there from Mole. At the end of the day, BLG, they break the turret they were after, and WE's valiant attempts of a defense were completely met with force, and they were bested.
And again, the engage came out from WE, and look how many times they got knocked up in the air. But still, BLG just didn't really care and then re-engaged on them.
Yeah, and a lot of this isn't even about hard engaging from BLG, you know, it's just about poking their opponents down. WE are the ones that try with the Cho'Gath Rakan combo. They try and press forwards and maybe find themselves a kill, but they're not really strong enough yet to one-hit anybody. And meanwhile, Mole was just obliterating the L-bars.
Yeah. He's strong enough to one-hit with someone.
Certainly is.
Reminds me of the first set that I casted today. That was FPX versus LGD. LGD had a problem where their composition didn't have any engage, and FPX were like, have to oblige. And then they just engaged on them, and they're like, oh yeah, sound. And just killed them.
Yeah, LGD had a couple of other problems during that game. I'm not going to name names, but Jinu was definitely something else. A lot of that, actually, I think fundamentally, that can be considered comparable to what is happening right now. Yeah. Jinu, Korean player, you know, trying to fit in with a Chinese team where the shot callers are in Chinese. BLG, remember the Chieftain is Korean.
Yeah.
Chieftain and Road, the 2 Koreans on the roster, whilst they may know Chinese or they may be learning. I assume Road knows it.
You'd forget that Road is Korean, to be honest.
Yeah, there's still moments where you have to feel like their communication may not be completely sound, and that's usually those early game woes that you see from them, or why is Road wandering? Well, maybe they told him to do something and he either misinterpreted or he wasn't listening because it was in Chinese.
Yep.
You never know.
The other thing is you can usually spot the Korean in LPL just based on names. Because like they'll go for like just a single English name, you know what I mean? Like Road, Mystic.
That's fairly true. I think a lot of the Chinese players still have that as well though.
Is it? Because look at all the Chinese players in this game.
I mean, this game is not the best example.
Well, it's the example I'm using, and it's
Mole
accurate.
Is Chinese.
That's like the only one. Jin Zhao, Amazing J, 957. So half of these are numbers. 957, 694, Condi. Or they have like the Chinese version of like an English thing. So like Xiaohu would be like little tiger, right?
Yeah, I mean that's 2 words. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
There's cat.
There's also mouth. Oh, engage on the bottom side throughout the chain of corruption. They found one. That's about to tick in a second.
Big flank.
Well, that is a massive Ornhorn. Finds 2. Zoe collects them. And now we're going to kill Condi as well. Great knock-up from Road. He just doesn't get to sit down, does he?
The
Here comes
reinforcements are in.
957, but it's 3 versus 5. They have to wait out the respite. And for now, they're just going to allow this minion wave to come in. Jin Zhao is just escorting the minion wave. They still manage to kill the Kindred. 957's low, below half.
no.
And Shia, he wants to get out. He needs to clear the minion wave right now, but AJ's leading the charge. He just needs to hold the door open for them. Double knock-up once again. Cheetah will follow through. He gets a heal. Shia tries to get the kill. He gets the null sphere. But in the end, WE get ace.
The best that they could get is a single kill on the Chieftain on the backside. BLG, they're getting the team fights, and guess what? We're not 35 minutes into this game, we're 20 minutes in. Their composition starts to come online incredibly quickly, and Mole now finds himself 6-1 on that Zoe with another big team fight coming out of him. Suddenly BLG, they are more than just in the driver's seat. They are the engagers, they are the initiators, and this is not the game 1 Nocturne that you saw from Chieftain. This is everything and more coming out of them. Amazing J, we said he'll give you 1 per game indefinitely. The rest is up for debate, but he comes in with a sick flank, hits the ultimate, is able to follow that up with the rest of the dive. And this is just buying time. 957 is trying to body his opponents out from the turret, but They just work around him, put him to sleep, and kill people while he's asleep. And shit, whilst he comes in here, note that Road saves Pulverize. So that Pulverize was always going to hit, and then Desperation for him to try and find Chieftain, uses Summoners in every spell possible.
Yeah. Literally burns the flash right there. I mean, that's just to get a kill. Otherwise, that would have been a 5-0. It almost feels like at that point you have to get something for moral support, you know?
It's still pretty worth it as a Kassadin, right? But
yeah, sure.
You're right, the team fight result's not really great if it's a fight.
He's on 2 items now, to be fair, Rusty. He's got the Zhonya's Hourglass and the Rod of Ages.
If you're putting him into a side lane, just hang on.
Oh, speaking of side lanes, it's Cho'Gath who's caught out on this one. And to be honest, that's not a very big Cho'Gath. He's actually quite a tiny Cho'Gath, and now he's just a smaller Cho'Gath. Gets killed again on the side lane, 0, 3, and 2.
The bug gets squashed. Road, speaking of face checks though, he's going to have another crack at it, but he's an Alistar. And if you want to speak about what draft can BLG just beat the game with, and you give a champion like Alistar to Road, and it doesn't matter if he face checks, he'll survive.
Yep. True enough. Oh, and Horn.
Oh,
tragic.
We didn't see anything. Did it matter? I don't think so.
Was it funny? Yes.
Absolutely. That's not the first time. There's actually a montage on the LPL in videos before the games. Just Ords missing their ultimates.
Yeah. To be honest, the thing is that we have so many games in the LPL, you can make montages of probably anything. Even if they're like really obscure things.
You know the ones that do get you as Ornn is if you're standing next to a wall and you're gonna try and or ult rather, like recast it, knock someone down. It's very hard to do because the dash doesn't go the full distance. You have to time it better. That might be what got him there. Sometimes, of course, when you're max ranging as Ornn as well, you can't see yourself unless you look back at yourself, but then you might miss the ultimate. There are
I feel
excuses.
like you're giving him a lot of excuses.
I'm not giving him, I'm just throwing excuses out there into the wind, and I'm hoping that
one of them sticks.
He will take one, or the viewers will be like, no, you're right, that's probably why.
He didn't just miss it.
Yeah.
Maul's got another Predator belt.
You know what you do? You give him one. Everyone gets one. You're playing Ornn, you can miss
per
one.
game, per series, like what's the limitation?
Per series.
Per series. It's fine.
I think that's fair.
Chieftain puts his head on it. Oh, managed to dodge out that one, and Road says, get off my Nocturne. And now he's going to keep engaging. He gets a knock-up onto Conti, but in comes 957, and he's got a feast ready to go. He's about to nom down on some cow.
Yeah, very easy pickup there from Team WE. Now, it's still 2 Infernal Dragons to BLG to 1 of WE, so the team fighting in a 5v5 sense may still go to BLG's court. In saying that, WE are avoiding the 5v5s. They're looking for the skirmishes, and this time around, Road is the one that is going to be made into minced meat. Nommed down by a Cho'Gath.
Also, in terms of the game state, there is no objective up, so it just kind of prolongs the game, and BLG are like, okay, we lost our support, but we're going to be ready for a Baron.
I don't think they're too confident to do the Baron just yet, WE, after a single pick. Take a bit more than that, perhaps, to start that one off. I would say maybe if the Blade of the Ruined King was finished for Mystic, then that's probably that's probably when you would look at it and consider it.
True enough. 957, how's he doing? Well, I guess he's a bit like a teenage Cho'Gath. He's not like quite reached adulthood yet in his adolescence.
Level 16, you actually just grow in size, don't you already?
Yep. And you can't take levels away from him, can you? So
no, you can't. Of course, he's got that Righteous Glory done, so in terms of chasing people down, he's going to have a much better experience. In saying that, there is a headbutt to knock him away. He is often being put to bed by Mole. And there is a lot of front-to-back crowd control that will prevent a Cho'Gath from
It's actually a really sad life for him in this game, to be honest, when you look at the spells up and down the board.
Now, the big one's usually the Varus, but a headbutt Pulverize, if he is playing protectively Road, will keep Jin Zhao alive. And then there's just an Ornn.
Yeah.
And getting through an Ornn is not impossible. So what you're looking at here for 957, the big thing for me is the Flash. He's got Righteous Glory, so he can close distance better, but Flash Feast is his go.
Or a sick flank. Which is hard to do with the Cho'Gath. Again, you might need to do the flash anyway.
I don't think you can actually flank because of the rest of his comp as well, though.
Yeah.
Like, if he's flanking...
That's true, where's the front line?
Yeah.
They send him Rakan, it's like, good luck, buddy. It's a one-way trip. No return ticket.
Rakan's very clearly built himself to not die as a style, has rushed the QSS against the Varus and against the Zoe. That's a very important thing to have. Not quite the full Malzahar or Skarner effect, but still very much a necessity.
They're setting up a trap.
I like how they stand separately to each other just in case Rakan knows.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Jinjiao. Now they throw out the ultimate, they will get the knock-up onto the Rakan, but the flash comes through from the AD carry. Mol jumps in very deep. Oh, he's going to put him to sleep, but they're not going to follow through on this one. So he's going to shoot out Paddle Star regardless. That was a wrong time to battle dance back to your partner. But
a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was a surprising amount of damage from the Dustbringer, to be honest.
BLG, back to the same. Oh my lord.
What was that damage?
All right,
That was just the Paddle Star.
Yeah, pick a bush until it works. It definitely works this time. Condi and 957's going to go to bed.
Night-night. Morning. Ooh. Oh, a lot of damage.
They can just keep doing this. BLG, if they get control, once again, Baron the one big objective. Shit. I mean, he saw him and just evacuated as quick as possible in the furthest away direction. And he's alive.
I'll be Alistair. If you walk into a dark alley and you see a gigantic Minotaur, then you're probably going to want to just use any tool at your disposal to get out of there.
Oh no.
Well, you got free admission to the bouncy castle.
That was a shutdown as well to the choker.
It was, yeah.
He's really feeling himself now, 957. He's starting to grow in size. 9 stacks, getting closer to 10. And I mean, really, he'll hit level 16. You're just like, man, that guy's big suddenly. That's how many stacks he does have completed.
But the other thing is that it seems like this is the second time that BLG have just been randomly caught out. Road dies, Mole dies. AJ, not die. It's very tanky.
But still threatening forwards. WE are getting some momentum back into this game. They're getting their foot in the door. The items are completed. Mystic has got 3 items done. With that QSS to keep him alive, it means he can play forwards, can be a frontliner. And the turnaround engage onto him realistically is only going to be the Alistar, or if Ornn can knock you up into something.
Yep.
Those are the 2 guaranteed forms of crowd control that can be followed up on with damage. So they are able to get a better foothold in the current state of the game here. Team WE utilize their compositions, pick capabilities of a Rakan namely, and then just high damage from everyone else on their comp. This is a great opportunity for them actually to start putting Xie into a side lane. Use the teleport that he's got.
And actually join the team.
Well, yeah, even then, just put him there because a solo lane will give him more XP.
Yep.
Get him to 16.
That's going to be the big break point for the old Kassadin. He's picked up his 3rd item as well. He's got his Void Staff, so he's able to cut through a lot of the magic resist that's been picked up by BLG.
No Lich Bane, though.
Nah, no Lich Bane.
Feels a little bit bad.
Yep. BLG pushing up the top tower.
Yeah, he's also not defending this one. He's in a side lane,
Absolutely
so he's done the correct thing, but BLG have just recognized it and said, well, we'll just send everyone up there.
Yeah.
It's only a Cloud Dragon on the other side, who cares?
Connie will take down the dragon. I'll be 2 apiece for one side. Not like the other. There's an Infernal Dragon. Oh, hello. BLG are actually just going to start up the Baron, but has been instantly spotted out by WE.
They try and do it with no Ornn or Alistar tanking as well. So they had to be very cautious with that. Not a lot of health bars between a Nocturne and a Varus. So they'll show their due respect, but they also get rid of one of the 2 stopwatches, scrying orbs. They're currently present on Team WE.
Bit of a stare down. I've seen this situation before.
I mean, this was a situation where BLG got exactly what they wanted with the Ornn engaged. Alistar has got flash, so it's always possible. However, we've mentioned how strong Mystic is. Now he's starting to really feel himself with that red buff done, so keep your eyes open.
Horn, Call of the Forge Guard will tag Mystic, but it's actually, they're going to just open up onto the front line. Cho'Gath is not really a tank because he's about to get melted. In comes the Kindred ultimate, and BLG are still pushing forward. Bubble doesn't quite connect, and Xie over the wall, seeing if he can find anything.
It's a hard ask, man, to be 957 in this composition if they just engage onto you. What can the rest of the team do? Mole's playing brilliantly.
Xie is indeed.
Oh!
There is no escape. He's going to find his way back into this Force Pulse and the Gleaming Quill. Okay. All right, Rakan.
A teleport comes in from Mystic. He instantly cancels it once he realizes that's not the ideal position on the map. So WE not going to push forwards and get anything further after it just yet. That also completely whiffs, but it doesn't matter because he's Zoe. There you go, W with the counter play with no Cho'Gath. They're still able to make it happen. We just saw one hell of an interaction between an Alistar and a Kassadin.
I mean, that must be a very short window, because that's what happens with Jace Thundering Blow into like everybody with a dash or a blink, but I've never seen it happen with Alistar before, because usually he has such low priority.
They're just going to commit themselves to this Baron.
Tune in
Record
next
scratch.
time where we'll see if they get it. Whoa!
Oh, it's really low.
It's very low. We're down to 2,000 HP. It's going to be sorted by Nocturne. Cheating with the secure, but now BLG won out of this pit because they were focusing very hard on the objective. In comes Road from base, but his team's dead. Get out of there, Road.
Only Amazing J and Jin Jiao do go down in the end. Chieftain able to secure that one and flash himself out to safety. That was a force from W if ever I've seen one. And that means that right now they need to force the mid lane out of turret. BLG, they have got a Baron buff. They are going to concede this structure. The question is it going to be 2 they concede? Because they're only just recalling now, and we'll get to see the steal here again. Amazing J is in the middle of the pit. Jin Jiao standing next to Mystic, so naturally he is going to lose that trait as 694 just hovers around him. Helicopter parents his child.
So, yep. Yeah, so in the end, BLG managed to pick up the Baron, and we'll see if they can be on the offensive right here, because they are technically ahead in terms of gold, towers, dragons, everything.
Does it feel that way though?
No, it just...
You know, when you look at the gold, we can see that with our god vision. To the players themselves feel that when the Ezreal is killing the Varus, when everything is going right time after time in the way of WE, just slowly more and more, as they accrue bigger and better advantages. I think with the Baron buff, they should be able to reset that momentum on this map, and if the Zoe pulls out something miraculous, which again is entirely possible, then they'll have more momentum than not. We'll see what they can make happen with this Baron now.
How much can get it up there? Because currently Mole's not landing the skill shots, but they are chipping away at this tower. Again, the paddle stars are zoning paddle stars, warning shots if you will.
Yeah,
They
the skill
do hit
shots are
very
zoning.
hard.
You're not wrong.
I mean, look how far they've pushed WE back right now. Bubble comes through. There's a lot of just annoying skill shots. Jin Jiao's going to be a big one. Bubble, paddle star, Zoe chipping away at your tower for obnoxious amounts of damage.
Yeah, that's insane how much they're doing. And
AJ,
WE,
He's
they
being
might
opened
look-
up on, but he is a tanky Ornn. He's dropped down to
He's
half
still
though.
low.
Here comes the engage. Knockup comes out from the Rakan, and in comes the Ornn. He's found 5 on this one. Double knockup, and in comes Chieftain to finish him off. He drops the Rakan, goes into his Zhonya's Hourglass right there. But Caston, he picks up one. He's looking for the resets, and 957 jumps forward. He dies before he gets anything done. Shit,
Look
jumps
at
into
Xie.
4 people, but he's shut down, put down. And Mystic, he turns on towards him, but he's got no one else with him. That's going to be an ace right here for BLG. Double thumbs up. That's 5 members down. This could be an inhib if not more.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the game actually, with Baron buff still there for 50 seconds. The thumbs come out from BLG. Mole just goes berserk in that game, in that team fight. BLG, they have done it.
Remarkably, a bit of an anticlimactic ending right there. Just defeat them at the doorstep, then follow up to the Nexus. BLG take the 2-1 win at Xi'an.
WE tried to team fight, they tried to keep up, and there were definitely moments in that fight. There were moments in this whole set where WE might have been able to take it. But when it comes to the team fight, you cannot count out BLG. They always seem to get those victories. They got a lead, they got a sniff, a single Baron, which was stolen away, by the way, by Chieftain. And the game was over.
The comeback kids do it in the game, and they do it in the series. Congratulations to BLG right in the home arena. Get in the jungle. There you go, Chieftain. Well-deserved battle going over to BLG. And again, they just seem to keep pulling it out when it matters most, BLG.
They certainly do. They're on a bit of a tear here, BLG. One of the last games for them. I think it is the last cross-conference game that Bilibili Gaming will play.
It is.
They'll actually finish their results in cross-conference with a positive win-loss record. 10 wins, 8 losses as games go. They've done very well for themselves in making a big comeback, pushing themselves towards the top, getting into that playoffs position. They are now within one best of 3, one set victory away from 4th place.
Yeah, to be honest, if you're a viewer of the LPL, that's a new drinking game for you. How many times will the casters say BLG and come back in the same sentence? But to be honest, I mean, it really just fit them to a T. They just keep somehow doing it. Game, series, league, split. This is how it is. Hey, AJ rocking a new haircut too.
Feeling real fresh here, BLG. Definitely reinvigorated. Game 1 was a absolute disaster from them, to put it simply. They didn't feel like it was the regular BLG, and WE walked over them. And it's hard to say whether one looked cleaner than the other and WE lost themselves in game 2 and 3, or if BLG found themselves a bit more again and really came in stronger for the remnants of that set. And I do think at the end of the day that BLG in that third
Someone
game,
give him a bag. Come on.
the coach is upstairs
It's on
saying,
Struggle Street. Help
"Hurry
him.
up, mate."
You've got a free arm. Hey, get down there.
Oh no.
There you go. Cheers, boss.
All right, we did it. It's just stairs, bro.
You alright, buddy?
It's been a big day on the
That was a
Rift.
bigger struggle than the series was.
It's been a big day.
It has, it has.
Chieftain steals the Baron, can't walk afterwards, lost his feet in the process.
Yep.
Mole popped. That's a lot of damage from that Zoe, and it started at level 1. And you know what? It started at draft. They pick a Kassadin into the Zoe, they fully commit themselves to the attempt at a 1-3-1, and then Mole just wins in lane. Chieftain gets level 6, comes to mid lane, and would you believe it, they get further kills from that. And suddenly, that's all the advantage that BLG need.
Yeah, I mean, look at the damage from Mole. I mean, that basically just paints the whole picture, to be honest. If we're just doing some napkin math, he did more damage than like his entire team combined. Probably did, yeah, as much as like the top side of the map as well. So, crushed it, absolutely demolished them. And Mole, I think, just had like a pretty killer series, if we're being honest. I mean, I think back to the Yasuo playing game 2, I think to game 3 as well, where he was just wrecking everybody. Take a look at the draft one more time, and no, I mean, great for BLG getting these victories. It always seems to be a comeback. I can't think of a series where BLG have just been consistently ahead outside of their EDG set.
set's the only one, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a clean 2-0
And of course they would do that against EDG and not anyone else in the league.
I mean, yeah.
It has to be EDG who are at the top of the table, of course.
They wouldn't do it any other way. EDG are also 7-6 right now, so they're not exactly cleaning up the rest of the split. BLG are an inconsistent team, and I think that's the biggest takeaway from this, is we have just seen it perfectly displayed yet again that if Chieftain and Mole play well, BLG tend to win the games. We've also noted that Alistar is a very big deal for Road, because he does find himself mispositioning 2-play's vision, similar to that of PYL, but because he picks Alistar, he's able to survive. He's able to walk it out, just threaten with the R button regardless. So we are seeing, let's say, a much more defined recipe for BLG and the things that make them successful. The one that I take away from this is that Zoe should just always be banned regardless, but Mole got Zoe, and so he gets early game, and WE draft a losing mid lane matchup into that, which is just perfect for Bilibili Gaming to close out.
Yeah, that was the thing. Because, again, in the very, very early game, we saw Condi making the aggressive moves in the early game. He was actually getting a lot done into the bottom side of the map. Onto BLG, he did this in game 2 and game 3, in fact. But in the end, you're right, BLG were able to find those fights early. I mean, WE, if we're to go for a throwback and say, yes, they're looking to turn online later on into the game, they're a late game team, they never really got there because BLG will kept on handing it to them in those early game fights, and that's more of what we want to see from BLG, you know, instead of them just falling drastically far behind, then having like literally a game 2 in this series. You know, we want to see more like game 3s come out.
You can see the difference as well when Amazing J's on a gangplank compared to when he is on an Ornn. The time with which they engage is drastically different. Going towards mid lane, just being there without teleporting as well. The ultimates were thrown out earlier. BLG were more aggressive in their 5v5 attempts, and sometimes it was just to pressure a turret. You know, it wasn't to take a pure 5v5 fight. It's just that they were grouping up as 5 members, and they found a weakness in their opponents. They exploited the weakness just through and through until they won the game from that. And it felt like there was no real countermeasure available from their opponent.
I mean, he also just played Aram for like a good portion of that game. We were like playing Aram for like 20 minutes, and then we had a Baron and the game ended.
I'll do one better. The whole series where BLG were winning was an ARAM. Like, the second game, they had to ARAM, to be fair. Like, the draft was an ARAM, but think about how they won the game. They didn't even control side lanes. They just grouped up mid and hard engaged. So, I mean, they ARAM'd their way to victory against WE. And
he did.
You know what? It worked. Why not do it again?
Yep, they just smacked him in the mid lane at the doorstep, and it was like, I guess we'll just win the game. And it was literally off the back of a Baron. Like, we said it in Cass's anticlimactic because it was just like a couple kills here and there, a couple team fights, and the game ended. And it was like, oh, okay, cool, great.
Yes, I mean, there's not much else that WE could do in that situation. I think that, you know, looking back at it when you watch the tape, WE, they shouldn't have gone for the 50-50 Baron. I could respect that they wanted to, you know, bring their opponents over, but we didn't get to see the full, you know, setup for that Baron. Of course, we unfortunately cut out during that time.
That's true.
However, they committed themselves to a 50-50,
yes, they
and
did.
then they just purely lost the game straight afterwards, and they barely got anything as a trade on the other end. It was a bit weird to watch Team WE make decisions like that, and I don't usually expect that from them.
That's, yeah, I mean, again, those are where the cracks come in, right? Because it seems like WE are very 50-50 on when they're going to play up and when they play down. But what I can say on BLG's side is Mole has been really stepping up. You know, I feel like Chieftain and Mole, between the two of them, have been doing exceptionally well recently, but particularly Mole on his Game 2 and his Game 3, his Yasuo and the Zoe play. I mean, he was a pivotal part as to why they were ahead in the first place.
10-2-4 is amazing. 93% kill participation is a very big number. But how's that? 48% of his team's damage. Nearly half of his entire team's damage. And there's 5 people in that team. He was doing insane amounts of work. And honestly was the major carry for the team. Mole has been having a very good year so far. Came in late in spring and in summer has still found himself a bit more. His regular conference play this split wasn't so crash hot, but now he's really starting to find himself again. And that's the big thing that you're looking at with Mole, because when he's in form, BLG start to make playoff runs.
Does this count as his rookie split? Because he kind of got like 20% of spring.
No.
And now he's in summer. Does
Surely
that
not.
count?
It's his rookie year.
Yeah. But he doesn't, because like while he qualifies for spring, it's just like who's gonna pick Mole even though he's been here and did really well. It feels like you can do as well as you want in your like rookie split, but be there for like 3 games. You
Yeah,
know what
I mean, it's not. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's his rookie split right now, even though he was there for a small amount. Sorry, you can't vote for him.
Well, rookie of the year maybe. Maybe we'll make it happen.
Oh, Yagao.
Your
hello.
Your boy, That's true, actually. Yeah, Yagao's actually a bit of a beast. It's between the Zoe players, to be fair. Let's take a look at the standings, though, because after today, we definitely had some change-ups. Of course, top of the table, not so much. But in the middle of the table, you know, we've got TOP, OMG still down there. Specifically looking towards WE with another loss onto their belt. But on the opposite side, BLG with a win.
But it's a big fight for 4th place. That's the thing you have to take from this. You know, WE, they had an opportunity to try and climb the ranks. FPX had an opportunity to try and climb the ranks and get up towards that 4th place spot. At the end of the day, there was no real parity gained between either conference because the East just clean 2-0'd today. And they bested their opponents, LGD, BLG, both sitting at 5 and 8, and both 1 set respectively behind their opponents in Sin Gaming. Things are getting very close in the West.
True enough. And we'll have more top of the table clashes because today we had a bunch of middle of the table, but tomorrow we'll have our match of the week on top of that. So that'll be fun to watch. Make sure to tune in for that one. That'll be at the end of the day. So if you're just tuning in for match of the week, then make sure to tune in at 7 PM China time. You can see all the times in your local respective regions. But we will be starting the day with RNG taking on Snake down in the Snake Pit in Chongqing, followed up by Suning taking on TOP. That'll be happening in Shanghai. And then we'll be rounding out the day with Invictus Gaming and Rogue Warriors, also in Shanghai.
Yeah, back-to-back Shanghai games. So we get the crowd behind us tomorrow, which is very exciting to say the least. IG vs Rogue Warriors, 2 of the 3 teams that will sell out the Shanghai Battle Arena, alongside EDG, of course, being the 3rd. So can't help but look forward to that one.
Yeah, people will probably break in and try and stand, you know, to watch that series because Invictus Gaming, you know, EDG, some of the teams who haven't got their own arenas yet, everybody just floods into the arena to watch those games. So
yeah, I mean, that's an exciting one. So set 1 with RNG, don't miss that one.
Absolutely. So make sure to tune in tomorrow. A lot of action coming your way. For now, though, on behalf of myself, Rusty, everyone in the English broadcast team, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.